Alayna from her new album Set Her Free, a collection of songs that she calls a series of love letters. We caught up with Alayna on album release week and asked her how she was preparing for the big day.
Oh man, so I'm doing an art gallery showing for the album release. So I'm creating a piece of art for each song so people can come through to the gallery space with their headphones and listen to the album and have a piece of art that connects with it the whole way around. So it's been awesome. I'm just like painting every second I can.
That sounds like a lot of work.
A lot of work. But that's how my brain works. I have an idea. I'm like, okay, I will make this happen somehow.
Right. Okay, that's pretty exciting.
Thank you.
So let's get into the album itself. From what I saw, because I've looked at the videos and listened to the whole thing and all that stuff, but it seems, at least according to some of the descriptions on YouTube about the clips, that they're all a series of kind of love letters of some sort. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's right. So this album is about love in all forms and the capacity of the heart of a woman. So almost my experience of how I see life and how love is just woven through every kind of dimension in my life. So I've written a lot about romantic relationships and the relationship with myself. But a huge learning for me in the last few years of my life, the idea of love and the spectrum of love has just gone so much more width and depth to it and understanding. And I look around and I say, oh gosh, the love of my mother and her line, mother's 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 mother, and the love within my friendships. It's so profound, and it's so the very fabric of my being, I guess.
And does this realization come to you, do you think, with age or with maturity or something like that? Or what brought it on, do you think?
I think, yeah, probably experience and just time spent working on myself, and then I almost feel like my perspective widens as I grow and as I go through maybe challenging experiences in my life.
Right.
And I almost see it as the glue in the table, and you're like, oh, this is such a sturdy table, but you don't really acknowledge, oh, there's glue holding it together, and that's why it's so good. So I think that's continually knocking me over. I go, oh, love, it's so much bigger, and it just grows.
Right. Okay. And you mentioned kind of things that you've kind of had to deal with in the past. One of them was coming out of the previous album, the Portrait of a Woman Unraveling, which I think you kind of described as being one long therapy session. So
yeah.
Are you happy that you made it through that?
I did. I'm really proud of my first album because, I was really trying to answer the question of, like, who am I really, and who is underneath all this? And I felt like it was such a excavation process, and I was digging and digging, and it was quite, I guess like a therapy session. It's a lot emotionally, and I found my conclusion of that whole album was that, oh, I'm forever unraveling. I'm never going to quite reach her. But I felt I'd kind of dug inward as far as I could. And at this point, I was like, I don't think there's anything really left to write about me or the self-exploration. I need to turn around now and look back out from this perspective that I've gone into myself. And all I could see was this love that had carried me the entire way through.
Okay. And having gone through the process of releasing that first album, did it teach you to do something differently or encourage you to do something differently?
Yeah, I realized I'm a student forever to the craft of music and songwriting, and I love it so deeply, and I feel I've fallen in love with music all over again during the process of this album. I was like, okay, I've hit a ceiling of where I'm currently at in terms of how I work. And so I really wanted to go back out into the next creative season and be like, what can I learn? And I was really aware of these amazing opportunities that came up to write with some incredible songwriters and producers, just to be in the room with them and realize I found, I think, my place more as an artist and as my job as a songwriter, of what I'm supposed to do and bring this song to life. And that's been the greatest learning for these last couple of years. I've found, get out of the way, Alayna. We need to bring the song up, and I can notice now when I am getting in my own way, and
Uh-huh.
it's very easy to fall in the center and be like, all the challenging thoughts, or I'm not good enough, or are we going to get here? And I realize that I'm plonking myself in the middle when it's supposed to be the song.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited about the future, and I'm excited that I'm forever learning about this process.
And is it Ben Malone was the main person that you kind of collaborated with making this record?
Yeah, so Ben Malone, I had about half the album written from sessions all around in LA and Bali, and I figured out what the album was, and it was all about love and these three threads of love. So, but I needed my person to help kind of pull it all together, and we had a session together at the end of 2024, and I think our first day in the studio, he had a synth in the middle of the room. We were playing around with knobs. We made this sound, and I just sung this lyric of "What of I if I set her free?" And I was sitting in the middle of the room, so he just picked it up on the piano mic and the other mic in the corner, and he sent me a bounce maybe the next day of this 10-minute jam had condensed into, I think, a minute and a half.
Right.
And as soon as I heard it, I was like, yep, he's the guy for the job. He's got it. Whatever I'm looking for. And we spent the next 3-4 months in the studio writing way too many songs.
Right.
We ended up building this like huge double album, so we had to cull it back. But he managed to help me pull together the entire album, which was amazing.
And was there sonically something that you guys were looking for, trying to achieve?
Yeah,
overall?
It was a real. It felt like a very intuitive process, because we were just trying to capture the feeling and really follow whatever curiosity or creative thread that would pop up.
Right.
Ben is a very creatively intuitive person, so it was really great us two working together in the studio. I think we're quite similar. And our main thing is like what gets us right in the chest, whatever that is, and how do we find that through the sonic space and also through my vocal performance. So there was a lot of days where we'd try and we'd be like, nah, I don't believe you yet, try again. And I had to get the performance right. There was one song, Animal, where
Right.
the song I needed to get out of my head completely. I needed to not overthink it, and I realized I need to go to a dance class, because after dance I feel a lot more in my body and I'm just like quite grounded. And so I went and booked a dance class, came back that night. Ben had turned all the lights down low. He'd sprayed some perfume, and he made it feel like this atmosphere that we really wanted to be in for Animal. And then I got the vocal take. So it was a lot of experimenting and honestly so much fun.
Cool. Well, that explains the video as well, because you're dancing in the video.
Yeah.
So do you like making the visuals and?
I can feel your animal. Can you feel my? Can you feel my? You wanna touch my heaven? Get on your knees, pray to me. You better watch your time, you'll see.
So much fun. So for Animal, I had one of my greatest, longest friends, Chloe from Rotorua as well. She's an amazing dancer. And so she featured in the video and was representing this duality of woman. And she choreographed and freestyled her whole piece. That was an amazing day. We had such a cool crew. Alex McDonald was on the camera with this massive setup, and he just followed her around.
Right.
We had the crew from Westall Road produced all my visuals for this, which is Marlon, Prabha and Layla Bembrahim, and we did 6 videos together over the space of 2-3 months. It was full on, but such a cool process.
Cool. Do you have a new video coming out on the 13th?
I do. I have a video for a song called Tiny Spaces, which is a single when the album drops.
Baby, love like this was made to sit in all the tiny spaces. 10 trillion stars and not one quite as warm as when I get to lay in your arms. What a feeling. You tear my fourth wall and you still build me up. What's the odds of us being like this? A love so big, but it still fits.
One of my favorite songs, and I feel like it really encapsulates the album, is almost like a sunset feeling of realizing that love is as vast as our whole sky, but it still fits in all the smallest of places. So this video is just a beautiful celebration of that.
Mm-hmm. And the sunset, well, that kind of fits in with the cover art of the album.
Yeah.
A silhouette, and you're looking out into the orange sunset, I think it is.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the photo session?
That was so much fun. So I worked with a beautiful photographer from Raglan. Her name's Nami, and I've known her for about 5-6 years. I've done a couple of shoots with her before, and we've really grown together. And I remember this session, I just took myself, drove down to Raglan, put a dress on, and we just ran around the beach. And at one point, I was like, we need to, spirals is a really big theme and ripples of the album. It just
Right.
Showing, I guess, our seasonal changes and also this connection with nature and the Fibonacci spiral and how we just keep circling upwards. And we started grabbing all these shells and we started just growing this massive spiral on the ground. And we were giggling like little girls, just like running around. We were trying to beat the sunset. We don't have much time because the tide's coming in. And so we made this great big spiral, and then I just ran around the beach for a few hours till the sun set. So it was a really, it was a beautiful feeling. And I remember being like, yeah, this is what I want to capture.
Very good. Now, one track that's kind of right in the middle of the album is called Small Things. And I think it's actually the biggest thing on the record. It's the longest track. Well, I was wondering if you might want to elaborate on what's going on there.
Yeah, I love Small Things. As I mentioned before, there's 3 love threads throughout the album. And one is the love and womanhood. So looking at my friendships, my mother, my line of woman.
Yep.
One is my self-love journey of accountability and a real like sense of coming home. And the third thread is looking at romantic love through a lens that I hadn't before. So I kind of start off on this love thread being like, I feel so lonely. I don't feel seen. I don't, will I always feel like this? And Small Things captures a very, very tiny moment in life where it was a real scenario. I was in the kitchen and I accidentally cut my finger cooking dinner. And the person I love dropped what they were doing and ran to the kitchen and had a plaster for me. And in that moment, I go, oh, this is love. Like it's always been there. It's just the tiniest little moments of this constant showing up that I realized, oh, love's always been there. I'm just asking for this, trying to see this thing that's actually not real. So we were really proud of that lyric, Ben and I, because we were trying, like, how do we zoom in? How do we take us right to that place?
Right. Okay. Very good. So I see you're planning a tour sometime later in the year. Is that right?
I am. So we're going to be touring in August, going to Auckland, Rotorua, my hometown, and Wellington.
And what's that going to look like and sound like?
It's going to be fun. So we're going to incorporate some of the art, make it a real experience, because I think Set Her Free, as it is a real journey and it's a big concept. So we're going to build out that show, and it's going to be great.
All right. And do the songs tend to evolve when you perform them, or do you try to stay close to what you presented on the record?
I like to really honor the record as best we can, because there were so many really intentional choices with the sonics.
Right.
If there's any way we can elevate the feeling, then we lean into that for live as well.
Yeah. And when you do play live, afterwards, or do you do the signing of the merch and the greeting of the fans, and have to kind of listen to their takes on what they think you're doing?
Yeah, I love. I mean, before I perform, I need to be in like a bubble just by myself and get centered. But afterwards, I love speaking to people after shows, and I get overwhelmed with people taking time out of their precious lives to come see me play. So I feel a lot of gratitude and want to meet them and connect with them, because that's ultimately what I know music is for.
Gotcha. All righty. Well, thank you for taking time talking to me. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
I imagine
Marty.
you're pretty busy this week.
Yeah, it's a crazy week.
What's your next big job or chore that you have to do to get ready for Friday?
Man, I'm in the middle of 13 pieces of art for the album release.
Doing the painting.
Yeah, so today is a lot more painting.
Right.
We're almost there. So we have an art gallery showing an early album listening on the Thursday evening at Common Space Studios in Grey Lynn. It's 20 Newton Road, and you can register online at alaynamusic.com/set-of-free release, and you bring your headphones, come through and listen to the album, see the art I've created, and be in the world of Set of Free. So we've got sessions Thursday evening and also Saturday morning, and then a special performance night on Friday for some.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.